Hello and welcome to the Writer Review. This is Eric Carrot Writer, and today we're going to be looking at the movie The Best of Times. This was a movie that was released back in 1986, and it was directed by Roger Spottiswoode. It was written by Ron Shelton, and it stars Robin Williams, Kurt Russell, Pamela Reed, Holly Palance. There's also a small role for the great M. Emmett Walsh, and it also has, for those who are into trivia, did you actually know that before they both starred on the TV sitcom Growing Pains, Kirk Cameron and Tracy Gold actually make appearances in this movie as well? This is kind of like before they shot to fame, before Growing Pains. Here is the story of what it's all about. Jack Dundee is a banker whose mind is still haunting him over a thing he failed years ago. Back in 1972, he was the star of the football team at his alma mater, Taft Union High School. His team was on the brink of defeating their rivals, the Bakersfield Tigers. Star quarterback Reno Hightower, played by Kurt Russell, threw the ball to Dundee, and sadly Dundee inadvertently fumbled the ball, causing his team to lose. It's been manifesting in his mind for the past 13 years, and he just can't seem to get over it. Now he's a banker who works for the president of the company, who likes to refer to himself as the Colonel, played by Donald Moffat. And Dundee is married to his daughter, the Colonel's daughter, Ellie, played by Holly Palance, who's of course the daughter of City Slickers alum Jack Palance. Ellie can't stand the fixation that Jack has over his failure, and his father-in-law, the Colonel, still continually rubs it in his face. And eventually he also promotes him vice president so that his daughter feels like she hasn't married a total loser, because that's what the Colonel refers to Dundee, a loser. Feeling the only way to beat this manifestation is to just simply redo the game. So he tries to get Hightower to join him, but of course that's no easy task, because Hightower does not want to lose his good reputation, because that's all he has to offer, since, you know, his life has kind of went down after a knee injury causing a potential for career in football, now feeling that he's been reduced to just working in a garage. But somehow he eventually goes for it, and Dundee also tries to get other former teammates to partake in this long-awaited rematch against Bakersfield. And this is much to the chagrin of his wife Ellie, and as well as Hightower's wife Gigi, played by Pamela Reed. In fact, there was even a scene where Jack, Reno, Ellie, and Gigi go out to dinner, and lo and behold, the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons are on, so they kind of like shift back and forth from the dinner table to watch the football game. And this of course drives them up the wall. And to make matters worse, the Colonel is the president of the football team, the Bakersfield Tigers. The movie actually ends when Hightower passes the ball to Dundee, and this time Dundee successfully catches it, and Taft goes on to beat Bakersfield. It helps also regain the love of their wives, and it also helps Dundee to overcome his past mistake, and now he's able to move on with his life, knowing that he has felt a sense of accomplishment. Here's my opinion about this movie. Well, I'm sure we've all had that hankering to, travel back in time to correct a fault that we did. It could be anything, not necessarily sports, but, like maybe when you were in school you teased someone, and now you regret it that you teased this person and you want to apologize. Or that you failed to hand in a term paper and you feel bad about this and you want to apologize to a teacher to help, get over your past. Stuff like that. So that's what the kind of the story it's about. It's about redoing a sin you've committed in hopes to get some forgiveness for it. Sure, the story was compelling, but the movie fails quite miserably. I mean, we had good quality contributors to this movie. I mean, Roger Spottiswoode, he's done many other great films like The Sixth Day, but he has very little to look upon, and the film is too predictable, too formulaic. It's a color between the lines type of movie, and I find that to be very lazy and very pedestrian. It's something we've all seen before. There's really nothing new to offer in this movie. The performances were also quite hit and miss. One of the many positive things about the movie is that it was actually quite refreshing to see a more restrained, sedate Robin Williams, as opposed to his off-the-wall manic stuff that we know Robin for. As for the supporting performers, Kurt Russell, Holly Palance, and Pamela Reed, well, they put in the effort for what material was given to them, but sadly, they've been in better movies than this one, and I don't think this is actually going to be a career changer for them. Not for the bad or not for the good either. They've just been in better stuff. I've seen Pamela Reed in such great movies like Cadillac Man, Kindergarten Cop, where she was just outstanding, and Junior. She's got great chemistry with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's really amazing. She does too also with Robin Williams, but like I said, she's been in better stuff. Same could be said for Emmett Walsh, whose role was relatively small. Donald Moffat, he was quite one note. I found him to be not up to par with some of his other films that he has done. As for the writing, I was kind of disappointed in Ron Shelton for this movie, and it's partly because he's of course done better stuff like Bull Durham, absolute classic, White Man Can't Jump. That was also another great classic movie that Shelton did, and I know he can do a lot better, and here he just does not show his potential, because the script was too formulaic, and it was something we've seen hundreds of times. Of course, the underdogs are going to come out on top. What else is new? If I was to say anything about this movie, I guess it was probably just, a guilty pleasure kind of a movie. Something to watch if you feel sad or blue, or if it's a rainy day and you can't go outside. So, you know, you could stick this movie and sit through an hour and 45 minutes, laugh it out, enjoy the comedy if you like this kind of brand of comedy. It's, you know, there are some great laugh out loud moments in there, but it was more of a guilty pleasure movie. And just because it's a guilty pleasure movie, that does not mean it's necessarily a good movie. Would I ever see this movie again? I think once is enough, because I know there are far better movies out there. If I was to give it a score out of 10, I would give it a 5. And maybe even that I'm just generous. So if you only want to see this movie once, I don't blame you. If you want to see this movie again, you know, I'm not stopping you. But that's just the way I see it. So if you guys have any comments to write, please feel free. I love to hear from you guys. And I think I've covered up what there is to say about the movie The Best of Times. So until then, have a nice day and take care of yourselves. Good day.